So guys, the visitor's visa is a non-immigrant visa. Non-immigrant means temporary. So this visa is for anyone who wants to enter the United States temporarily for business or tourism purposes. The business visa is called B1 and the tourist visa is called B2. So who qualifies for this visa? Almost anybody with a reason to come to the United States can use this type of visa. So for those who have business partners, for instance, in the US, you can go to the embassy and ask to travel to consult with your business partners or associates. If you want to attend a conference or a convention, whether it's scientific, professional, business, religious, this is a visa for you. If you're selling cars, for instance, and they have international auto shows around the country all the time here in America, in fact they have one coming next week here in Phoenix, you can use this type of visa. If you sell coffee or tea, you look for trade shows that are held in the US and come through those kind of trade shows. TD Jakes always has like conferences annually, so you can come through those. You can come for medical treatment using this visa, but have to be careful if you're pregnant. A lot of people used to come here to deliver babies and then they go back, but it's not allowed. So they will deny your visa if you say you want to come here to deliver a baby. As a group to participate in some musicals, sports, or any events or contests, they have to be free though. You cannot be paid for them because this is not a working type of visa. You know, I have a friend who came in a group and she told me they had to go to the embassy and showcase their singing as a group. And that's like almost 20 years ago. And she's still here, right? So I just thought of one actually. A local soccer team. So if you have a local soccer team that you play, consider looking for local soccer teams here in the US and approach them to see whether they can invite you to play against them. Just want to make sure that if you don't have enough funding, ask them if they can host you. Otherwise, you're gonna have to look for hotel money and flight money. So there are so many ways to come here through this visa. Don't let money be a hindrance for you. Never let money be a hindrance. Another way is, let's say you do work or you're about to do work for an American and you want to sign a contract, and either them or you, if you don't feel comfortable doing it without seeing them face to face, you can go to the embassy and say you have a contract with a firm or you have a contract with somebody and you want to come and negotiate. So if you get this type of visa, then how long can you stay in America, right? How long can you stay? So it depends from country to country. For instance, for Kenyans, you're granted 5-year visa. However, just because they gave you that 5-year visa doesn't mean you have permission to stay for 5 years. When you arrive at the port of entry, whether it's New York, Chicago, or whatever city, the immigration officer at the port of entry will determine how long you should stay. They'll ask you for the purpose of your visit, and you want to make sure you give the same answers that you gave at the embassy in your home country. You want those answers to match. Otherwise, they do their, oh my God, they will deny you entry. You have no idea how many people are turned down at the airport, and they have valid visas. They were given visas at the embassy. If you said you're coming to a conference in California and your port of entry is New York, for instance, you better have an air ticket that shows the final destination is California, not Minnesota or elsewhere. And you better have a hotel booking confirmation, or maybe the host telephone number or proof of your conversation if somebody is hosting you. The immigration officers at the port, they do their work very well. You cannot bribe them. They will admit you for the period necessary for you to carry your business or your visiting activities. So if the conference is like 2 weeks, they'll possibly give you 1 month stamp 1 month, guys. Usually they will give you between 1 month to 6 months. And I'll tell you, my brother, my sister, only stay in America under this visa if you have plans to change your status from visitor to something, if you want to stay here long term. Such as if you know someone that you're going to marry, or if you want to be a student, just have a plan. If you want to stay here long, have a plan or file an extension for your stay. Whatever changes you need to make sure it happens before your stamp expires, or actually extend your stay sooner. Because this type of visa doesn't give you working papers, it doesn't give you a lot of things, so you have to have a plan. Have a plan, have a plan, have a plan. If you don't have a plan and your intention is to stay here long term, then it may be best for you to exit the country and come back when you have a solid plan. Remember, they gave you probably 5-year visa. Use it, but don't stay here illegally, because everything is documented. If you stay beyond your stamped dates, it will spoil your chances if you are to file for a green card in future, if you are to file for working papers, or even when you want to go renew your visa, they will revisit your history. They keep records, and trust me they do. So don't give anyone a reason to deny you your next visa. You know, I know someone's mother who overstayed for only 2 weeks, guys. She went back to Kenya, and after 1 year, she wanted to come back and see her grandbabies. The embassy in Nairobi renewed her visa. But when she arrived at the port of entry, let's say in Boston, the immigration officer turned her down and returned her to Nairobi. It was pretty sad. So in the past, if you overstayed your visa, let's say you filed for a green card, they used to penalize you by asking you to pay $1,000 for breaking your visa rules. Just kind of like a slap on your wrist and saying, don't do that again, don't do that again, and then they approve your green card or something. Things have changed. They will deny you a green card if you overstayed your visa. I hope that is clear. I hope that is helpful. Please don't hate me. I'm just a messenger here. I'll always tell you the truth. I will never mislead you intentionally. I won't come here misleading you, because I want you to succeed. I want you to succeed. What a visitor visa can allow you to do in the United States, the cans. So you can visit any of the 50 states with no restriction. Tembea kabisa, I mean travel. You can go in and out of the country and come back 6 or 3 months at a time, depending on your stamp. So this is good for someone who has projects, or you're coming here to purchase things and go back, or you're coming here to help relatives. It's great for parents who don't want to stay in America for long. So with this visa too, it allows you to open a bank account using your visa and passport. So that's a good thing. And I think that's about it for the benefits. It really doesn't have a lot of benefits. I want to talk about what the visitor's visa does allow you to do, which I think does not allow you to do, which I think is the elephant in the room. So you cannot get a driver's license if you have a visitor's visa. A driver's license here in America is an identification card. You need it to work. So if you go for a job interview, they're gonna ask you for a driver's license. So you can't get that if you have a visitor's visa. You cannot get working papers with this visa unless you change it to a different visa, which for the most part will require you to go to your home country and come back for the most part. So if you had hopes about your cousin inviting you to come for a graduation and you're thinking, oh, I'll go stay and work, this isn't the right visa for that. You can work under the table maybe, but do you really want to do that? Starting life in a foreign country while hiding? It's gonna make you really vulnerable. And you'll always live under the fear that somebody is going to tell on you or you're going to get caught, and you're jeopardizing your future chances of living and working legally here in America when that opportunity comes. And oh boy, that opportunity will be there. So guys, I want to add one thing that I thought about. So this type of visa is good for people who are thinking about filing asylum, okay? So it's kind of hard to get an asylum, to come here on asylum directly from your country, unless your case is kind of like national, somebody like Bobby Wine, you know, big people who are well known, who their names, it's easy for the embassy to verify that this is true, that they're being persecuted. So for anyone, and I did mention in my other video that is one way to come to America, filing for asylum, if you're being persecuted or you have fears that you're going to be prosecuted. So the group of people are, if your community circumcises girls and you are in danger of that, or your children are, if you're homosexual, especially Ugandans, oh my God, they have like stringent laws, and your president is speaking so publicly. So any person who is gay or lesbian in Uganda, I feel like your case is going to be very easy, because Museveni is out there talking against that and passing laws, bringing doctors to verify things. So I think this is perfect for you. So you can go to the embassy, come as a B1 and B2 visa, and then once you arrive here, you can file for asylum. So with asylum, guys, I don't mean to go into deep, but you have to file it, whatever status you're in, whatever visa you came in through, it is best to file it within 1 year that you're here in America. So this is a good visa for people who are thinking of filing asylum. Another group of people that can file for asylum, I'm just passing this through, information really like shortly, generally, is political reasons. I talked about that. Religious reasons, if your country, if your community are threatening, and your threats are credible and you have evidence, you can file for asylum. And also, even if you don't believe in something, like agnostic people or people who don't believe in God. So yeah, people who don't believe in God, atheist, that's your religion kind of, you know, so you are protected under that class of social class, okay? Or this could be a religion, because religion is philosophy, and this is not, please don't take this as legal advice. I'm just telling you information that I know, and it's in public, okay? So I wanted to add that this type of visa, who can come on this type of visa, people who plan on changing from visitor to asylum right away. I feel like the other groups, like changing from, I talked about it already, so let me not repeat myself. But for asylum people, this is good for you, okay? Alrighty. Guys, so last and not least, with this type of visa, you cannot apply for government benefits. So if you have an injury, you'll have to come up with money out of pocket to see a doctor. And if you don't know it yet, healthcare in America is very expensive. Oh my God. Hospital bills is one of the leading causes why Americans file for bankruptcy. So a trip to the emergency room, for instance, ranges from $200 to $3,000. So I hope that settles what B1 and B2 visas are. And you can now relax a little bit from asking your relatives to invite you. So just to recap, this type of visa is not good for you if you're thinking of coming to live and work in America, because it doesn't give you the working papers. It is just good for what it is, like come here shortly and leave, or it is good for people who want to transition to a different type of visa. And And like I said before, for the most part, they'll ask you to go back to your home country or the neighboring country to change the status. But there's an exception. There's an exception for some visas, like asylum, which I'm going to be talking about in a few, okay? Alrighty. So if you have any questions, guys, if you have any questions that you cannot ask under this video, you can email me at tuyastudio@gmail.com. tuyastudio@gmail.com. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Help grow this channel. I'm taking time to give you information. Like this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, Koheri.